Well, I'm back, and you can see the water up to here, and that's the reason. Come down to check the flooding that they've had down here. It's 44 degrees. It's Sunday the 6th, and I'm just going to open things up. Probably take a look at the overflow. But there was a lot of water coming down the hillside as I drove in. Not too bad in here. Let there be light. And there was light. Morning, Mom and Dad. I think I'll turn the floor heater on just to warm it up a little bit. Don't know how long I'm going to be here. It's 50 in here, which that's not bad. Set for 68. And I'll go around and start checking things. Okay, I got my boots on. In 2007, the old cabin used to sit about 2 feet lower, and water got to the very bottom of it. You can see where the water is now. I want to check over here by the septic tank. Last time, 2007, the water came all the way back here past this white pipe and almost got into the septic tank. But other than some down limbs, this is as far back as the water is coming. We had a pad put in. The pad, the bottom of the wood there is about just over 3 feet higher than what the lake is at normal depth. So it would have to get 3 feet higher to get up to that, which I don't think it can do. I shouldn't say. We've had 6 to 8 inches in the last 48 hours. I'll go out here and see how the dock's doing and the deck. My neighbor Dave called me yesterday. I'm hoping the last time when the pier raised up, it's connected to the deck and it lifted the front end of the deck up, but I don't see much of that. David called from next door yesterday. He's lost his floating pier. It took off. He was going to try to snatch it with his pontoon, but he had to charge the batteries. Ripped the fence off that post. I'm going to turn the video off here for a second. I need to take some still pictures. Well, we still got water coming out of the woods and coming down. For the most part, the rain has stopped, but everything is so saturated. It's slowly draining off as the area around the cherry tree field is up to the edge of the sheds. But it doesn't look like the water ever got up that high. So it's just a strap out here. I thought we had a snake that come out. So I'm gonna warm up for a second. It's cooler out here than I thought. I've had to put another sweatshirt on. And then I'm gonna walk up there and check the overflow and see what we've got going on there. Well, I've opened up the temporary shed, and I've got my long pole that I built up, and we're going to take a walk over to the overflow. I'm not going down in any ditches, but hopefully I can reach if there's any debris, which coming out of the woods that and down the culverts, it's going to pick up the dead leaves and sticks and everything else that's in the woods. So, a little water there in between the properties. My sister Kathy and husband George's property here. Up here to Dave Kincaid's property. That's where the overflow sits beside his property. Looks like water's actually up over the little deck and bridge he built. It's usually at least a foot underneath it. Yeah, I can just barely see the outline of it. There's at least 2 inches. Actually, more like 4 inches over the deck. Luckily his paddle boat didn't float away. Ground is soft here on this hillside. Well, we've got a lot of briars starting. Oh yeah, quite a bit of debris. But the water's getting through. We'll try to make it get through a little bit better. Put my pole down here. See if you can see how the partial that's to the top of the pipe down there. And you can see how much is flowing out and flowing down. Doesn't seem to be restricted too much. Right there's an end down. That seems to be collecting kind of crap. I don't know if I can get down here to it or not. Yep. What you don't want to do is trip on this shit and go flying down this hill. That would be cold and wet. A lot of water flowing down through there. So all I'm going to do is try and clean up the debris that's in front of it. See if I can set you up here and work my way down the hill a little bit without falling on my face. Boot got stuck. Well, it's doing its job. The water's all the way to the top of the pipe down here, the culvert. You can see that pipe's almost completely filled coming out. I'm going to walk down here and see if there's any way to go down this hill. Yes, I'm tired. Oh, he's cut and thrown down so many trees. And it's so deep, I think it'd be over my boots, but I wanted to go down in there. Those logs are sticking down in it. Just clear that out a little bit, but that's not going to make that much difference. I'm going to take a little break here. I don't know if you could see it, but as I cleared that away, the current is pulling more junk towards it, so it was increasing the flow somewhat. A lot of water coming out of there. I'm going to leave my pole here. I'm going to walk on down the county road to Alex's place. He's got a culvert that goes down the ditch that his driveway is built on. And I want to see how much water is flowing down there. You can see here that it is really, it's pretty high all the way through there. So the boots are giving me a blister on my big toe. I can feel it. Whew. You can see the driveway down here about a couple hundred feet in front of me. That's Alex's, Vineski, his property. The ditch, you can see this berm here, and then that ditch is a good 15 feet below. Flows down here through all that debris. That's one of the reasons I was wanting to redo the overflow down here on Alex's property. We had approval, but we didn't have the money. I can hear it flowing out of the culvert. There's also, he's got an overflow that sits about 14 inches above normal lake level. So if the lake is gets over 14 inches high, we should have extra water coming out of that overflow. Yeah, you can see the water's all the way up to the top of his. Not quite to the top. We'll see what's coming out. I can hear it from here. Yeah, there's a lot of water coming through there. I don't see any water coming out of the overflow. Which means it's probably not working, because I know that water is up more than 14 inches right now. It should be coming out of the bank right through there somewhere. And I don't see any water flowing down the bank. But it's flowing like crazy out of his culvert pipe. I was surprised that when you go down this hill down there, before the water goes down the low spot, but they put a new culvert under the road about 4 years ago, or it would have normally been flooded. But you can see the water flowing down, but it's not overflowing it. We'll walk down here and we'll take a look. Looks like they cut through the bank here to let the water from the road flow down into the main ditch instead of trying to flow down this way. You can hear the water bubbling going down the ditch. It's still a good 12, 15 feet below this little berm here. On the other side is slag piles, the edge of that, which is the edge of the arms of the lake back in here. This was one of the first areas that was dug, and then as they go down each arm, they swing the waste back over to where they had just dug. So you end up with these piles of waste. I don't know if you can see down there at the end, at the bottom. You can see where the water's flowing down there, and it's going under the road. Again, they've dug out the ditch. It's flowing pretty good down there. I hear the geese behind me. Sound like they landed in the field out there. I think I'm going to climb across the ditch here. It's getting low enough in here where I don't want to take a chance on tripping on those logs. There we go. There's even obstructions in here, but the water's flowing pretty good. Oh! Yep, my boot started sinking in. And as I tried to pull it out, I started to trip. It's not as nimble as I was, say, 50 years ago. It's blowing out an awful lot. There we go. This is where the two ditches join together, right down here. You can see there's a lot of water flowing. It used to be this road would flood anytime we had heavy rains because they didn't have, the water was come down here and then try to flow to the west side of the road, and the culvert was just a little pipe, maybe 6-8 inch pipe. They put in a couple 24 inches, I think. There you go. That's where the water's coming out from behind the berm. They join up here. We just repaved this road a couple of years ago, so it's sitting 4 to 6 inches higher than it used to. But if you don't have a personal generator, stream generator, you could be producing some power these days. Except it's usually dry, fairly dry. Well, although we got a lot of water, I'm pretty well pleased that the overflow seems to be working pretty good. Just having to get down there and clean it out to keep the flow going. The faster more of the flow, the faster we empty the water out, especially when we got a chance with the rain stopping. You can see that that low spot is filled in with water. It's always the first thing to flood. So a little holding area, and then it slowly goes across the road down here. I can hear the water out in there flowing. Well, I guess it's only one 24-inch. Flowing off to the west there. And actually, I think our pipe coming out is only 20 inches. I don't think it's 24. I'm gonna try to reach down here without falling in the water and clean that piece of wood out. I don't know, I don't think I can reach it. I'm not flexible enough without falling on my butt. And these boots just don't give me my feet swim in them a little bit. A lot of cigarette butts there. I must empty their ashtray. Cabin back up in the woods there. I call it the old Smith cabin. I think it's Sniffy Smith. He was a supervisor or higher superintendent of the mines. He's the one I think my dad went through to find Greenbrier Lake, and he's got his own like 25 acres back here with its own private lake and a little cabin off in the woods there. It's been years since I've seen any of them. Well, we've made this walk, so I'm going to turn you off while I head back. Well, I'm back here at the entrance to the overflow. I see the water still coming through there strong. It's been about an hour and a half. On the way back, I ran into the new owner of the cabin that Mike Schmidt had owned. It's another low spot. And I was checking out Alex Vineski's property to see how the water was doing. And so they took me down to their place and I showed them ours. And now, since it's been so long, I think the water's gone down an inch or so. But I am going to get down here and see if I can't clean it out a little bit more before I head out. Got a lot of it came out from the front. And if I can get down here without falling on my face. I think that looks pretty good. There's a lot of water coming through. I'm calling it quits. Oh, just pulling my legs up out of the mud is wearing me out. Go back and check the front yard, see if we can tell the difference. I couldn't crossing the bridge here. It still looks like there's 4 inches above it. Pull up. Got my knees sore too. Take a slight break, fill my water bottle, lock up everything, and then head home. I've done as much as I can. Hopefully the water goes down quite a bit. Yeah, I'd say it's still about 4 inches. I think the only place I see a difference is going to the deck. There was a couple inches of water behind the deck that I had to walk through. And there's still water all the way back into here. But more of the fence is showing. I ain't gone down that much. I still have to go through quite a bit of water right there. But it's definitely going down. I'm gonna have to try to get down here later this week so that I can put the goose fence back up if the water goes all the way down. Feel good to take these boots off. It's like a weight's on my feet. Oh, let's zip this thing up. Bought some seed from Lowe's, some flower seeds. I'm just going to spread them back here, break the soil up a little bit, but I'm too tired. I'm going to take a break. Well, we still got water coming out of the woods and coming down. For the most part, the rain has stopped, but the everything is so saturated. It's slowly draining off. There's the area around the cherry tree filled, and it's up to the edge of the sheds. But it doesn't look like the water ever got up that high. Spitting rain most of the day and cloudy and gray. So until the next time, take care of yourself and stay safe.